We ranked the top 10 most beautiful cities in the USA in 2026. We're dropping the undisputed number 1 right now, but every other spot on this list is up for serious debate. Let's see if your favorite city made the cut. Let's go. We begin with the crown jewel of American design, Chicago. Perched along the endless turquoise horizon of Lake Michigan, Chicago is widely considered by urban planners to be the most beautiful architectural city in the country. After the Great Fire of 1871, the world's greatest architects used Chicago as a blank canvas, creating legendary structures like the black steel frame of the John Hancock Center and the towering Willis Center. Walking down the Chicago Riverwalk feels like moving through a canyon of sculpted stone and glass, with the drawbridges acting as historical gates. At Millennium Park, the seamless reflections on Cloud Gate, affectionately known as the Bean, perfectly distort the skyline, creating a surreal blend of art and urban geometry that looks absolutely stunning in 4K resolution. Heading out west, our second spot goes to Los Angeles. LA is a sprawling basin bounded by massive, rugged mountain ranges on one side and the endless Pacific horizon on the other. From the historic boardwalks of Venice Beach and the iconic Santa Monica Pier to the luxury palm-lined streets of Beverly Hills, LA is a master of visual branding. For the ultimate cinematic view, head up to the Griffith Observatory at sunset. As the sky turns a deep purple and gold, you can see the entire glowing grid of the city stretch out for 30 miles below, with a historic Hollywood sign resting quietly on the hills above. It is a view that has captivated the global imagination for a century. From the West Coast, we fly straight to the nation's capital. Washington, D.C. is designed to inspire awe through scale, order, and symmetry. Because of strict height restrictions, the city feels open, airy, and grand. The National Mall serves as a massive green axis anchored by the striking white marble of the Lincoln Memorial on one end and the imposing dome of the U.S. Capitol on the other. The city reaches its visual peak during the spring, when thousands of pale pink cherry blossom trees erupt into full bloom around the tidal basin, framing the sharp silhouette of the Washington Monument in a soft, natural frame. It is a masterclass in monumental design and landscape architecture. Next up is the Pacific Northwest jewel. Surrounded by deep blue waters, dense evergreen forests, and snow-capped peaks, Seattle is the definition of moody, natural beauty. The iconic Space Needle pierces the skyline, offering panoramic views of Puget Sound and the snow-covered peaks of Mount Rainier floating like a ghost on the southern horizon. Down at sea level, the historic Pike Place Market brings a gritty, kinetic energy to the waterfront with its neon signs, fresh seafood stalls, and lively street performers. Seattle's beauty lies in its atmosphere, a crisp, misty vibe where the urban grid seamlessly blends into the wildest nature in the country. Switching up the energy entirely, we drop down to the subtropics. Miami is a symphony of pastel colors, tropical palm trees, and crystalline blue waters. The legendary South Beach Historic District boasts the largest concentration of Art Deco architecture in the world. Sleek, geometric buildings painted in soft pinks, yellows, and mint greens that glow under neon lighting when the sun goes down. Moving away from the sand, the city transitions into rich cultural pockets. Little Havana brings vibrant street murals and historic plazas to life, while the nearby Everglades National Park offers a completely raw, untamed look at Florida's prehistoric wetlands, where mangroves meet an endless maze of sawgrass under massive tropical skies. Heading back to Northern California, no city forces nature and urban design together quite like San Francisco. Built entirely on rolling hills that plunge directly into the Pacific Ocean, its geography is a visual masterpiece. The iconic Golden Gate Bridge, painting a bold international orange streak across the frequently foggy bay, is just the beginning. To capture the true soul of the city, look at the architectural charm of the Painted Ladies, a row of impeccably preserved Victorian homes framed against a backdrop of ultra-modern skyscrapers. For a panoramic vista that will blow your audience away, capture the view from Twin Peaks at dusk, watching. The city lights ignite through the rolling marine layer. Our seventh spot goes to a city that feels distinctly European, yet deeply historically American. Walking the red brick path of Boston's Freedom Trail takes you through charming neighborhoods like Beacon Hill, where gaslit cobblestone streets are lined with historic 19th century brick row houses. In the center of the city, the Boston Public Garden offers a tranquil sanctuary of weeping willows, Victorian flower beds, and iconic swan boats drifting across quiet ponds. Running along the edge, the Charles River Esplanade provides a gorgeous waterfront path where the city's historic red brick perfectly reflects in the water, completing an unmatched portrait of classic American charm. We travel out into the Pacific for number 8. Located on the island of Oahu, Honolulu is where a modern, high-rise metropolis directly crashes into a tropical paradise. The world-famous shoreline of Waikiki Beach is backed by a wall of luxury resorts, which are immediately dwarfed by the massive green crater of Diamond Head Head, a historic volcanic cone that guards the city. The visual allure of Honolulu comes from its dramatic verticality. 1 minute you are walking past modern glass storefronts, and 20 minutes later you are hiking up lush, mist-shrouded mountain ridges overlooking the vast sapphire blue expanses of the ocean. For our 9th spot, we head inland to a place that proves beauty can be entirely fabricated. Emerging out of the stark, barren landscape of the Mojave Desert, the legendary Las Vegas Strip is an explosion of light, water, and pure human imagination. The neon choreography of the Bellagio fountains dancing against a backdrop of scaled-down replicas of global landmarks creates a surreal visual wonderland. But Vegas holds a double identity. Just 15 miles west lies Red Rock Canyon, where massive, fiery red sandstone peaks tower over the desert floor. The visual contrast between the glowing neon of the Strip at midnight and the raw, ancient rock formations at sunrise is a jaw-dropping juxtaposition. We close our journey in the cultural capital of the world, New York City. To truly understand its beauty, you have to look past the chaos of crowded tourist hubs and look up. The Manhattan skyline is a living museum of architectural history, dominated by the Art Deco crown of the Empire State Building and the soaring glass apex of One World Trade Center. But NYC's real magic lies in the balance between the synthetic and the natural. Right in the center sits Central Park, 843 acres of winding pathways, historic stone bridges, and hidden lakes, framed perfectly by a wall of skyscrapers. From the architectural triumphs of Chicago to the neon canyons of Las Vegas, from the volcanic paradise of Honolulu to the concrete masterpiece of New York City, these are the 10 most beautiful cities in the United States in 2026. The beauty of America lies in its extraordinary diversity. Every city on this list tells a different story. Which of these stunning destinations is next on your travel bucket list? Drop your number 1 in the comments below. This is Wishspots. We will see you at the next wonder.